This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com. Welcome to my latest Breeders' Cup preview video, and in this video I'm going to analyze the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Now if you're interested in my annual 2-day Breeders' Cup full cards, the Breeders' Cup's at Keeneland this year on Friday, November 4th and Saturday, November 5th. You will find those full cards at the RunawayHorse.com on my sales page this week. Actually, right now it's Wednesday, November 2nd. I just finished my Breeders' Cup Friday full card, and so that one's on the site now. And then tomorrow I'll do my Breeders' Cup Saturday full card, and then both of those full cards will be available. So head on over to the runawayhorse.com on my sales page if you're interested in those full cards. Now, I've been covering the Breeders' Cup since 1998 in my full cards, and I've had a lot of success over the years, and let's hope this year we can have some more of Breeders' Cup success. Now, this Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies is also a Road to the Kentucky Oaks 2023 points race. And the top 5 finishers will receive Kentucky Oaks points, 30 points to the winner, 12 for second, 9 for third, 6 for fourth, and 3 for finishing 5th. This is the 5th race in the series so far, and I've covered all of those on my Road to the Kentucky Oaks video series. It started with the Pocahontas Stakes, and then the Frizette, the Alcibiades, the Chandelier, and now the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And the winners of those races are going to be meeting in this Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Now let's do the analysis of this race. And it's going to be the 7th race from Keeneland on Friday, November 4th, 2022. It's the Grade 1 $2 million Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies for 2-year-old fillies, 1 mile and a 16th on the main track with a scheduled post time 3:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Number 1 is Vegas Magic, 20-1 morning line. Jose Ortiz will ride. This one is a daughter of Good Magic, and she won her first 3 starts. She broke her maiden at Santa Anita in a sprint, first time out. And then she won a little sprint stakes at Pleasanton in Northern California. And then the Sorrento Stakes at Del Mar, a Grade 2 at 6 furlongs. She stalked, she won that one. And then 7 furlongs in the Del Mar debutante last time out. She was no threat. She was 4th, beaten 12 lengths from the inside post. She's going to have to run much better than she did in that Del Mar debutante. She's going to have to do better than she did in the Sorrento. So if she can run back to her Sorrento and then move forward a few points from that, maybe she can end up doing well in here, but she's up against it unless she runs faster. Number 2, You're My Girl, was sensational in her debut. That was at Saratoga at 6 furlongs where she stalked, she took over, and she won by 14 lengths, and she ran fast as the favorite that day. Then in the Frizette, in the slop last time out, a 1-turn mile, Grade 1 Belmont at Aqueduct on October 2nd. She set the pace, she fought hard to the end, and she ended up finishing 2nd, a length behind Chocolate Gelato, but she was well clear of the show finisher. So that was a solid effort. And now if she can get back on fast ground in this race and get out there and maybe set the pace, maybe she'll be brave on the front end. Number 3, and Tell Me No Lies for trainer Peter Miller. This one's a daughter of Arrogant, and she's coming in from the West Coast. She was 4th in her 5-furlong debut in July at Del Mar, but since then she's been excellent. She broke her maiden 2nd time out, battling on the pace and winning by a neck at 6.5 furlongs. Then she went to 7 furlongs in the Del Mar debutante. She was my top choice there, and she got the job done by a head at 9-1 odds. She stretched out to 1 mile and a 16th in the Grade 2 Chandelier at Santa Anita Park last time, sat in mid-pack, and got the lead, opened up by a couple lengths in the stretch, and then held on by 3/4 of a length. The problem, I think, the main problem with her is that the Southern California 2-year-old fillies haven't really been that fast this year, and she's going to have to run faster. But she drew a good post, and she's got some tactical speed, and obviously she's got some class. She's won back-to-back graded stakes races. Sabra Tuff is number 4 at 30-1 for trainer Dallas Stewart. This one's a daughter of Cross Traffic, and she was good in her debut. She won that one by a head, battling on the pace, and she just fought hard throughout and would not quit and won by a neck. 2nd time out, the debutante stakes at Churchill Downs at 6 furlongs. In that race, a Wonder Wheel ran away with it, and Sabra Tuff rallied from last to finish a clear 2nd. So that was a good effort. Then the Adirondack Stakes, she went to 6.5 furlongs in her next start. That was at Saratoga on August 7th. In that Grade 3, she rallied from last and she finished 3rd. The Spinaway Stakes, she finished an even 5th in a 10-horse field at 50-1 odds. The Grade 1 Alcibiades at Keeneland last time, October 7th. She was stuck out in post 13, and she ended up finishing 5th. That wasn't a bad effort. The speed really didn't come back that day. She was stuck out in a bad post, and she did earn her best career speed rating there. She's going to try to rally from off the pace, and I wouldn't be shocked if she finished 3rd or 4th. She's a horse you can use underneath in your exotics. The number 5, Wonder Wheel. She's 5-1 morning line for trainer Mark Cassie. She looks like a solid contender. She won her debut at Churchill Downs That was a nice effort in June where she sat in mid-pack and she won by more than 2 lengths. Second time out in the Debutante Stakes, she ran away with that one. She controlled the pace and just pulled away to win by almost 7 lengths. Sabra Tuff was second there. And then in the Grade 1 spin away, she was laid off from July 4th to September 4th. She had an outer post. She stalked outside. She finished second. Now that race, they really did say prior to that race even that they were pointing to a fall campaign and they wanted to stretch her out. And they did just that in the Grade 1 Alcibiades. She drew the inside post. She was able to control the pace and open up and then hold on by a nose. So that was a decent effort, but she doesn't have the rail here and she will meet other speed and she's just not going to most likely be able to just get over to the rail and control proceedings. She's probably going to have to end up tracking the pace this time. And if she can run back to her last race, she's a contender. But she's going to have to run a bit faster. And maybe she'll improve a little bit more in her second two-turn race in her third start after a layoff. Alma Rose is 30-1, and she's the next one. The daughter of Sharp Azteca, second, beaten 14 lengths in her debut at Monmouth Park. And then she came back and she won by 10 lengths at Colonial Downs second time out. And then the Sorority Stakes at Monmouth, she stretched out. She ended up finishing second. She stalked the pace. The winner there won by 6 lengths, and she was clearly second best. And then last time out, little stakes race at Delaware Park in the mud. She stalked. She pulled well clear. She won by more than 3 lengths. And now she's probably going to stalk the pace in here, but she's going to have to run faster. But she did improve her speed ratings in all 4 outings. Number 7, Chop Chop for trainer Brad Cox. This one's a daughter of City of Light. And Giants Causeway is the dam sire. And she started on turf. That was at Ellis Park at 1 mile. She tracked the pace from third, and she won nicely by 1.5 lengths. Second time out, Kentucky Downs Stakes race was on yielding turf. It was a $500,000 race at 1 mile on turf on September 3rd. Stalked from third, got even to the leaders, and then just battled all the way to the wire, and she ended up holding on by a nose. So that was a solid effort. And then the top 2 finishers there, 9 lengths clear of the rest of the field. And then last time she switched to the main track in the Grade 1 Alcibiades. She broke a bit slow from an inner post, and she rallied from 11th place in that 14-horse field to finish second by a nose. Now the winner, the 3rd place finisher, and the 4th place finisher there, they all were up on the pace. So Chop Chop was the only entrant making up any decent late ground there. So she was really closing ground nicely. She handled dirt fine. They paid $230,000 for her, and she'll try to get involved from off the pace. And number 8, Atomically, she was excellent in her last 2 starts at Gulfstream after finishing 3rd at that venue at 5.5 furlongs in her career debut. Second time out against Florida-bred maidens at 7 furlongs. She wired the field by 7. Last time out, it was in one of the Florida Sire Stakes when she stretched out a $400,000 race from post 9 in a 10-horse field. She was wide early. She took over. She won by almost 7. Now she moves to the Todd Pletcher barn, and her speed ratings are improving. She's got good early pressing versatility. She's going to be a price, and Luis Saez does win races with this barn. Number 9, Grand Love for trainer Steve Asmussen, a daughter of Gunrunner, and she wired the field in her debut at Saratoga at 6.5 furlongs, and the runner-up was the next out winner. The Pocahontas Stakes last time out, she set the pace. She was outkicked in the stretch, and she ended up finishing 3rd in that 12-horse field as the beaten favorite. She's going to be a pace factor in here, but she's going to have to run much better than she did in that Pocahontas. Number 10, Chocolate Gelato for trainer Todd Pletcher, $475,000 daughter of Practical Joke, Candy Ride the Dam Sire, 5.5 furlongs debut at Saratoga, pressed the pace from 2nd. She ended up finishing 3rd and a clear 3rd that day. 6 furlongs second time out at that same venue on August 14th. She wired the field, won by more than 8 lengths. She was eased up at the wire. Show finisher was a next out winner. Last time out in the slop, Belmont at Aqueduct, Grade 1 Frizette. She rallied for the win, and she won that one by a length. A good solid effort as the favorite. So she's been the favorite in all 3 starts. She'll probably be the favorite again. She can improve second after a layoff. Let's see if she can go a bit faster on a fast track, because she ran a nice fast race in her maiden win, and then in the slop the speed figure wasn't nearly as good in the Frizette, but maybe that's because she didn't particularly love a wet track, but she won anyway because of class. We'll find out. She's probably going to end up tracking the pace outside. American Rockette, 20-1 morning line, a daughter of American Pharaoh for trainer Bill Mott, and won her career debut, a race originally scheduled for the turf, won a good main track, In that race, she rallied from 7th in a 9-horse field to win going away. 7 furlong spin away, she rallied mildly from post 10 to finish 4th. And then last time out, the Grade 1 Frisette, she was 4th, beaten 7 lengths. Third start after a layoff, stretching out around 2 turns. She will try to get involved late. Number 12, Shoplifter, was 2nd in her career debut to Sabra Tuff. And then this daughter of Super Saver, 2nd time out, wired the field. That was at Churchill Downs on June 29th. The runner-up was the next out winner, and that runner-up was well clear of the rest. In the debutante stakes at Ellis Park, she ended up finishing 5th in a 12-horse field from the inside post after breaking 11th. And then last time in the Pocahontas, she stalked the pace and she finished 2nd. She's going to have to run faster in this race. This one is bred to go a route of ground, and she ran okay in that route last time out. Number 13, Leave No Trace. Phil Serpy is the trainer, and she won her first 2 starts. Career debut, 5.5 furlongs at Saratoga. And then 2nd time out, she pressed and she won the Grade 1 spin away over Wonder Wheel. Last time in the Frisette, from the inside post, she stalked the pace. She finished a clear 3rd. So now 3rd start after a layoff, stretching out around 2 turns for the first time. This daughter of Outwork will probably stalk wide, not get a good post at all. And the same could be said of Raging Sea, out in post 14 for this at 8-1 morning line. Her debut was solid, very professional effort at Saratoga. 7 furlongs, not an easy debut distance to win at, but that's exactly what she did. She stalked. She got into a nice battle in the stretch for the lead, and she prevailed by a neck. The runner-up was more than 6 lengths clear of the rest. And then in the Alcibiades last time, as my value top choice, she went off at 6-1. She had a post 4. She stalked the pace. She was surging late. She finished 3rd by a neck, but she was actually disqualified and placed 4th for interference. She interfered with the 4th place finisher, and then they swapped positions. So Raging Sea, her 2nd route start, 2nd after a layoff. Excellent pedigree here. This one's the daughter of Curlin. Stormcat's the dam sire. She's got plenty of upside still. And Flavien Prat was aboard in her debut, and he didn't ride her last time. Jose Ortiz did. But now Flavien Prat is back aboard. If she can work out some kind of trip from post 14, she's a little bit interesting in here. So there's multiple ways you can go. The pace should be honest. There's a lot of different directions. Like I said, there's a lot of different horses that have at least a shot in here. Seems like a competitive renewal of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies this year. I'm going to go for my top choice. I'm going to go with number 7, Chop Chop, for trainer Brad Cox. I just like that effort in the Alcibiades. I like the fact that she already has a good race over the track, and that was her first dirt race. And as I mentioned, horses really weren't closing that day. The horses that broke towards the inside were up on the pace, and they just stayed up there, except Chop Chop. She's the only one that made up ground. She missed by a nose, and I think she should get some pace to chase in here for the recently hot Joel Rosario, Brad Cox jockey trainer team. And Rosario got to know her last time, and I think that maybe she can win this if the pace does heat up a bit. So Chop Chop will be my top choice in the 2022 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this content. And that will wrap up this video. And the other video I'm going to do today is going to be for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So stay tuned to that one on my YouTube channel. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.